Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, Boomer and I are out Jeep camping. We have not done this in quite a while. As you guys will notice, the rooftop tent is no longer on the Jeep. I've actually taken a different approach using the Jeep as a tool to get in and out of really far remote locations in the woods. Therefore, we're going to be sleeping either using a hammock or a tent. In this trip, we're going to be using a dome style tent, as I've already got that set up. I've got a camp cot inside of there, sleeping bag. I'm going to be moving my chair and table inside of there as well later on. That'll be in there for the morning, just in case it does turn to rain. There was rain in the forecast, and it actually was raining early this morning as I was traveling out here. But right now, as you guys can see, it is sunny. So the awning is set up right now just in case the rain comes in. Also there for a little bit of the sunshine because it is still quite warm out. But now that everything is set up and you guys are up to speed, we are in a brand new location. Never been here before. Grab my GPS on my phone, hit a dirt road in the Jeep, all the way out, turned down this little dirt road, and found this epic, absolutely epic, beautiful lakefront location with a fire pit, and there's even a little bit of firewood left here from the last people. So now that I've got everything set up, it's time to start on a coffee. Alright guys, got some hot coffee on the go right now, drinking it black today, no creamer. Brewed it perfectly, by the way, not too strong, not too light. And the clouds are back, so it is getting quite a bit later in the afternoon right now. Looking out across this lake, it is very, very moody, very cloudy, so still kind of up in the air what the weather's going to do, but that tent is definitely going to be comfortable later on tonight, whether it rains or not. So having the Jeep parked right here, having the awning, having the table, the tailgate, the entire cook station is weatherproof. So if it does pour with rain, I'll be tucked underneath the awning, going back and forth to the tent. No big deal there, not too worried about it. I do have quite a bit of food to cook up this evening. I've got the scuttle, I've got the large pan, so I will be utilizing all of that to really cook a lot of food for both Boomer and I. I'm going to kick back and enjoy this coffee right now for a few moments though, guys. And I am allowed to have a fire. I have very, very spotty cell phone service, and I did check my phone. We are green in this area to have a fire. So there is some firewood already prepped off to the side of the fire pit. I don't know if I'm going to need to prep a whole lot more. And where this area has been camped in quite a bit, it is kind of picked clean of the immediate camp area, but there are trails that go off here, and I can see some dead trees way back there. I don't really think I'm going to need to collect any wood though. I might collect a few twigs off some of these trees, but basically I'm just going to assess what's already over there, maybe cut it a little bit smaller and have a small campfire. I don't plan on being up very late, I should say, because it still gets dark quite a bit later at about 10 p.m. So I don't imagine I'll be up too late. I do want to get up early in the morning and explore some more of these trails after I break down camp. So yeah, we'll take it from there and check out the wood situation in a few moments. But right now I want to enjoy this lakefront view and this coffee. So cheers, guys. Let's kick back and enjoy. Alright guys, so I've done my wood prep for what I think is going to be the evening. I've got some wood prepped in 2 separate piles. I do have some logs, but some of this wood that has been brought in here and left from the previous people is actually wood from building constructions and construction buildings and whatnot. Just a whole bunch of nails in it is what I'm trying to say. Nails all over the place. So this entire place, had I backed up a couple more feet, I would have driven on top of nails. And going up the road a little bit, looking for a couple more pieces of wood, there are reminiscences of old fire pits. This fire pit seems to be here for quite some time. The problem with moving fire pits, and I see this all the time, and I really wish people would stop doing this. When you move a fire pit from a well-known camp spot, such as what this place looks like, you end up moving the fire pit, and then it gets cleaned up, and it looks natural, but all the nails from construction wood or pallet wood or just wood that has been brought in from the outside of the forest, those nails get left behind, and then people drive on them. You end up getting a flat tire. If you don't have a plug kit for your Jeep or truck, if you don't have a spare tire, if you don't have the tools to replace your spare tire, or you don't have an air compressor, you could be in a lot of trouble, because I am very far out here in these woods and there are nails everywhere. Now I do have all the tools and all the means to replace a tire or plug a tire if I need to, but there is nails all over the place. So the problem with moving fire pits is just that the nails get left behind. So it's nice to find a fire pit and just leave it. If you're in an area that has multiple fire pits all over the place, it's best not to drive into there, because chances are if there's 3 or 4 fire pits, there was probably 5 to possibly 10 at some point, and people tend to move them all over the place to make room for their truck or their tent or their personal situation, leaving behind broken glass, nails, or sharp metal. So I prepped it and I've cleaned up the area. Probably 100 nails I collected and put into the fire pit. I don't have a means of taking these out. I mean, I could put them in a garbage bag, but I'm not going to get all of them. So what I'm going to do is leave them in the fire pit. And what that's going to do is show the next person, when they get here and they look in the fire pit, they're going to see the nails, and they're probably going to think twice, possibly, of moving the fire pit, because there's a lot of nails there. So that's my thought process anyways. I don't think I'm going to need any more firewood. I'm happy with what I've got there for a small fire. Like I said, going to be in bed early. It is getting dark right now. The winds are kind of all over the place. I don't want my stuff getting burned, and I also don't want this beautiful piece of woodland catching on fire. So very small controlled fire. It's not very cold out. I just want it for camp aesthetics. The bugs aren't terrible. Just want it for aesthetics. A nice crackling campfire. That's it. I've got the lake right there full of water, so if things get out of hand, I can extinguish it. So I'm not terribly worried as long as I'm smart about it. I'm going to be cooking on the scuttle, so I'm going to get this pulled out a little bit in just a 2 or 3 seconds, I think. I'm pretty sure I got everything else ready for supper. So I'm going to get the scuttle out, get that cleaned up, and then start on some food.